Welcome back to another episode of Egg Wars. Hope you're all doing well. Great to see you, and I hope you're all having a great weekend ahead of you, as it is Friday today. Right now it's about 2 o'clock p.m. A little late in the day for me to be starting, but I've been just having a little bit of trouble racking my brain for what kind of shit I want to talk about, so I apologize it took a little more time today. But we're here. We're back on the very economically sound sips today. You know, we had our little fun yesterday, and I still don't have alcohol today, but soon. I actually need to go to the liquor store to really, really decide what I really gonna end up choosing. But I'm sure that shortly-ish it'll be going on probably. All right. Now, before I get into the topic I want to talk about today, first off, today, I'm gonna not even shout out anybody particular. I want to give more cred, more clout, more props, more thanks to all you people out there who have been making Egg Wars fan mail foods. I've been having a lot of fun making them today. Today, I'm actually going to be trying something different with fan mail foods, because I've had some people saying that it's kind of mediocre and it's not getting a lot of views. So I'm going to try something different with that today. That's going to be up a little bit later. But, all the support has been incredible, and you guys are just fantastic, phenomenal. I love you all to death. Couldn't do it without you guys, so I really want to hammer that home. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Fucking love you guys, so please do be aware that I appreciate you very, very much. Now, I had my biannual dentist cleaning, teeth cleaning, whatever shit going on today, so I went. It was great. It was all good. Everything was fine. No cavities. For some reason they're taking your blood pressure at the dentist's office now. I guess it has to do with, like, if your gums are bad, you probably got all your shit's probably messed up. And despite the fact that I'm totally out of shape, I'm fucking I'm jello-y, doughy, blobby, fat motherfucker. I don't get enough exercise. My blood pressure and pulse and everything was still perfectly fine. No cavities, none of that. However, now, there is a surgery that I probably could have had done already. I just really haven't, really gone and seen the surgeon and gotten the consultation and etc. that I've needed to do. But unfortunately, I'm going to be off of my insurance. I'm losing my insurance in a little less than 2 months. So I've kind of decided, I need to go and get this done now. So in about a month, I am going to be having an oral surgery, and I don't know, I'm assuming hopefully I'm able to continue making the Egg Wars every single day and all that stuff up till that point. So the way I figure, I have time to approach it before it happens, so I, should maybe have a day where I just make 5 episodes of Egg Wars in one day. So if I am taken out of commission for a few days following the recovery of this surgery, that way I won't have to, go on a hiatus. But then again, knowing me, I'm like, fuck, I've been sitting here for the last 2 hours just to even think of what I want to talk about today in Egg Wars. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really necessarily want to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel. I don't want to have to talk about goddamn celebrity news and shit to try and fill the void of those days. So I don't know, but it is going to be at the end of the first week of November. I am going to have some surgery, which could complicate me from being able to talk I think they only said it would be probably a few days, but it is going to be a little bit serious. It's not just like a tooth. Well, it's hard to explain. If you don't know about me, I have a genetic disease, a genetic disorder where I've only ever had one set of teeth. I was born with one set of teeth. I've had the same teeth. The teeth I have are still the first teeth I ever had. So that's what I've got. And so that's a condition I have in my teeth. I've always had a lot of problems. I've had to have multiple surgeries in the past to correct some things. And basically what's going on right now is that there's a tooth that I have that's basically I've had to have this surgery before, where there was a tooth that was basically it was there somewhere, but it never really got to where it needed to be. There's a picture of me that I have around when I was a little kid, and this was before I had the surgery, but if you see it, I basically had, it was like a snaggle tooth pretty much. There was 2 teeth on top of each other pretty much, and I had to have surgery and have a couple teeth removed for that reason. My mouth was messed up, and basically what's going on now is that there's, they did an x-ray, and I guess there was some, like, I guess the tooth never, maybe I'm having a tooth that's, like, coming up somewhere now that was never coming up, but now it's in there somewhere, and it's not going to be able to grow up, but it's like floating around there, so they're basically going to go into my face or into my gums or whatever, into my mouth, and basically cut it open and fucking get in there and take it out, because it's gonna, otherwise it's gonna like come up and be fucking up my mouth and shit. So that's what's going on. I don't know how, like I said, we'll have to see how it goes, but I just want to put that out there just in case if it does end up causing a hiatus of some kind, to put it into consciousness. Alright, but enough talking about that, because I don't want to waste any more time on that crap. So today, like I said, I'm sitting around and talking to myself, I'm like, fuck, what do I want to talk about? Do I want to talk about some thoughts? Do I want to talk about some political shit? Do I want to talk about, you know, what do I want to talk about? And I'm like, and so I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, God, you know, it's Friday night, you know, it's Friday, and so I'm thinking, you know, that just comes into my head, I'm like, you know, people are going to want to watch something, it's Friday, and I thought to myself, I'm like, you know, every Friday in my life that I could think of for the last many, many years, I have spent sitting and, I mean, having no human interaction, contact of any sort of kind. In fact, you know, ever since I've had a job, going all the way back since I've had a job, I was always selected all the time to work every weekend, pretty much. I mean, when I got my first time that I was working 2 jobs, which was in 2013, I was working at a gas station and a grocery store. Every single weekend, I had to go and open the gas station at like 4 or 5 8. Well, I had to go in at like 4:30 a.m. to the gas station to do the, you know, get the shit all up and running, you know, get the cash all counted and stuff before I'd open the doors. You know, I had to count lottery tickets, all that shit before I'd open up the doors, get the coffee brewed, all that. So I would do that, and then I would basically get done, you know, in late morning, early afternoon, then go right over and work at my grocery store job. And I was always scheduled on these days because the management of both these places were like, well, what do you got going on? We have lives, and we know you don't have a fucking life, and like they knew this shit. So it was like this fucking struggle, even, you know, as long as I can fucking remember. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, God, where did it all go wrong? You know, so I kind of started to try and dial back. Obviously, you know, when I was talking about my making a black pillar video, I said, you know, what contributed to where I got to when I was really thinking about the whole the whole path that led me to the black pill, you know, the social maladjustment, you know what I mean? Like this, I was definitely what you would call like a failed normie, because I tried, I made efforts repeatedly to fucking punch into like the social sphere for so long, you know what I mean? Like, cause I just wanted to, you know, I did shit I did, but I had this goal, this idea that, oh, you know, I could be, you know, like that. I could, you know, I just need my chance. I need my whatever. And so I'm going back and I'm trying to think, you know, I was thinking today, I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's go back, let's say right after high school, right? My most socially active time, my most successful opportunity for social interaction that I ever had. You know, when I was out of high school, there was this group of people that I went to this alternative school with. We would go to this karaoke. It was the first time I ever did a live rap performance. I rapped Tupac, Dear Mama, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was Dear Mama. It was either that or Thug's Mansion, but I'm pretty sure it was Dear Mama. I rapped that, and it drew, you know, it was, you know, that was like probably my coolest thing that I did, you know, like that I could think of. But we'd go to this karaoke, and like all the girls that I went to school with, you know, they were all the typical shit. They were you know, they were doing the tattoos and chokers and shit before I was like fully aware of like that sort of shit, you know, and they would sing Evanescence songs, and they would sing all these fucking, you know, like emo songs and shit. And they were, oh, that one burned. They would wear their emo makeup and shit, and then we'd chill, and we'd go, and we'd go to somebody's house if their parents are gone, and like we'd have like, you know, a bunch of people there drinking and shit, and just kind of chilling. But as time went on, you know, like I didn't have any problems with any of these people ever. You know, I was always ready to chill. I was always cool. I was always whatever. But my social value to this group, you know, I guess I don't understand it. I guess it had to do with the fact that no females you know, because there was a good ratio of male to female. There was gay, you know, people. There was a whole mix of a bunch of different people. You know, it was you know, we were a bunch of like kind of like misfit type people, pretty much. Or that's kind of the way I saw it. You know, we weren't really in like any of the cool kid, normal kid groups. You know, it was like a bunch of kids from a fucking school that, you know, we either kicked out of regular school or whatever the case was. You know, so I mean, I didn't really see it like that, but basically the way I understood it was that, you know, basically none of the women were attracted to me. And so because of that, you know, like, I guess, and I wasn't, you know, like, they kept all these gay guys around. I don't know, that's just what they did. You know, I don't know what it is about, like, in my experience, there's a very stereotypical type of woman that likes to have gay men around, and she's usually just kind of, you know, a little more masculine, a little, you know, maybe more overweight, and just whatever, just kind of has these certain social behaviors. So whatever the case was, I didn't fit what they wanted, and so it was like, as time went on, you know, I would go, we were hanging out and shit, and then all of a sudden, you know, they were hanging out and I wasn't, and you know, I'd text somebody, be like, oh, hey, what's good, you know, it's the weekend, no answer, you know, well, how about, hey, what are you doing, huh, no answer. Oh, and so, like, all of a sudden, you know, I'm getting, whose number is this, you know, oh, it's Mills. Oh, no answer, you know, so like I'm getting deleted out of phones, I'm getting whatever, you know, the invites and shit stops happening, and I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, I get a lot of this shit now where they're like, people talk to me and they're like, oh, well, you know, people will like still come and find me through like the black pill video and be like, well, you fucking deserve all that shit, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, okay, listen. Especially at this point, I was a fucking leftist at this point, you know what I mean? I was definitely a fucking leftist until, you know, maybe like late 2011, early 2012, so I'm not even fucking apologetic for any views that I ever hold, and if you don't fucking like it, I don't even give a shit at all. I'm gonna say what I want to say no matter what, and I'm never gonna shut myself up for, you know, any reason unless you know, I'm not trying to be rude about shit, you know, sometimes, but hey, I'm not gonna hold myself back, you know, if that's what somebody wants me to do, I can't guarantee that's gonna happen. So, you know, it wasn't, you know, I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up, you know, it's not, it was just, they just didn't want me around. So, okay, so then we move on. And, you know, I kind of was hanging out with a few other, there was like some affiliates of this group who I was able to kind of hang out with for a little while, like in the next year. And that was all cool. That was all good. I mean, shit, you know, I came out, you know, of that group. I mean, I was fucking really fat, you know, I mean, obviously I'm fat now, but I mean, I was still like, you know, 20, 30 pounds heavier than I am now at that time, you know, and I was still doing what I do. Then as, you know, into 2011, late 2011 and 2012 and stuff, you know, I started getting more knowledgeable about fitness. I started exercising. I was getting in shape, you know, I started picking up singing R&B, which I'm not even going to attempt to do right now, but you know, the way I was in really good shape, you know, I was taking I sang R&B songs live in front of people multiple times. People enjoyed it. Everything was going pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. You know, I'm feeling kind of like I got the sauce, you know. I'm kind of feeling good. But, you know, so the same thing. It didn't even matter then. Like, even, you know, aside from like my very, very peak social value in this like 2 to 3 year time span, let's say like 2010 to 2012, you know, that's probably about the extent of my contact with humans outside of the internet for that. That was like the peak, 2010 to 2012. And, you know, it was still at the very, very peak. Yes, I could, you know, I was allowed to come to a party and kind of just like be there, you know, like I wasn't really even wanted there. I'd be like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? Hey, glad you could make it. Oh, yeah, we got drinks over here. Okay, cool. And I'm kind of chilling. Nobody's really there checking for me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of chilling out. I might get, you know, people like laugh at me occasionally, and they're like, oh, hey, look at it's Mills. Oh, yeah, hey, dude. Hey, he's just sitting over there. Hey, man, hope you're having a good time. You know, it's kind of like low-key, kind of just bullshitting me, you know what I mean? And that was like the peak of where it got to, you know? And so, 2013, well, no, I turned 21 in 2012 technically, but let's say like late 2012, early 2013, and whatever else, you know, because at the time, because I turned 21 in 2012, and I was still working my shitty gas station job until I turned 22, and that's when I started working my other shitty gas station job. So at this time, I turned 21 or whatever, and I thought to myself, this is like the fucking golden ticket, the fucking golden key. I mean, obviously, I could have been going to fucking concerts and shows and all different kinds of stuff. I mean, now, even now, like, looking back, I talk to people who are like 18, 19, 20 and shit. I'm thinking back to myself now, I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, when I was like 18, 19, I was still fucking basically living the same kind of life that I was living when I was like, you know, a fucking like 12, 13-year-old, you know what I mean? I never drove anywhere to go do, like, I never went out like that, you know what I mean? I was not going out into the public sphere. I wasn't gonna go to a fucking club, show, bar, anything by myself. I'm like, you know, I didn't see the fucking point. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, that was just like, I didn't want to do that, you know, so it was like, even though I could have done this shit when I was 18, 19, 20, when I turned 21, I'm like, oh, now I can go to the bar, now I can do, you know, I'm like, oh, this is really opening up now, this is really the real deal. I was fucking, you know, before I turned 21, I was just laying in bed, you know, a couple months before that, I'm laying in bed, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like imagining myself out in these big, like, clubs with parties and shit, and I'm thinking about, you know, because like I said, I've been doing R&B at the time. I wasn't really rapping at all, but I was singing R&B and stuff, so I'm thinking about myself doing, like, the goddamn Chris Brown moves on stage. I'm fucking, like, getting up, like, fucking, you know, oh, you know, I'm doing, like, all the cool moves and shit. I mean, I was dancing then, too. Like, I've always done dancing, you know. So in my mind, I'm thinking about this shit, like, oh, I'm gonna go do that. Oh, I'm gonna do that, it's gonna be so fun, you know, I'm thinking about, like, popping bottles and all this shit from, like, music videos and stuff. I'm like, oh, man, it's gonna be so cool. And so I turned 21, and, from what I recall, actually, I'm pretty sure my 21st birthday was actually the time I did go to a club, and I'm pretty sure that was the time that I went to, like, this ghetto-ass club. not really even intentionally, it just kind of happened to be that way. I'm pretty sure that was the time I had like 4 or 5 black chicks all like twerking on me at the same time. Because I'm trying to think, there was when, let me see here. I gotta check some song dates here. When did that come out? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah, okay, yep. So when I was at the club, I remember this. The song "No Lie," 2 Chainz featuring Drake. You know, no lie, no lie, no lie, yeah, yeah. No lie, no lie, no lie. So, anyways, that shit drops, and I'm going wild. You know, I'm up in the fucking boom, boom, boom. I'm fucking wasted. I'm going woo, woo. You know, I'm fucking partying hard, and I got black chicks twerking all over me. You know. It wasn't glorious, it wasn't pretty, it was some pretty ratchet, gangster, ratchet type shit, you know, it was just, it was wild, but, you know, I started off on a strong foot. I'm like, okay, you know, this is what my weekends are gonna be. I'm gonna go to the club, I'm gonna party, I'm gonna rock and roll, you know, yeah, here we go, that's what's up. And so, I started, you know, because this was still, once I got into my gas station job that came later, my secondary gas station job I started in 2013, that's when I started changing up, you know. Once I got that job, I was working all nights, because that's what I signed up for, working overnights, and I would always work every, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights. I would work every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night, and then I would have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. But in between time, you know, I started that in the late fall, turned 20, you know, I started going to the clubs and shit beginning of the year. I'm like, oh, you know, I was so ready to just get out there, and I was like, yeah, it's mine for the taking now, let's go. And so I started going to bars all the time. And I kind of came to realize that, you know, I had this idea when I came into it, and it started off at my birthday party, because obviously I had some of my relatives, well, I guess it was pretty much just some of my relatives who were, you know, roughly around my, you know, late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in that, you know, who were, like, ready to show me a good time. I think I went to a titty bar, too. I know I definitely went to a titty bar at one point. I don't remember if it was that night, maybe, or it was around there somewhere, but that was just the thing, you know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go out, but, you know, these guys who I went out with were not always free, you know, they all had, you know, other jobs and commitments and things outside of this, so I'm going to these bars all the time, and I'm going there by myself, and I'm going in sitting down, getting a drink, you know, and just kind of like, you know, just kind of chilling, you know, hey, what's up, what's going on, what's good, you know, I'd be trying to talk with like random, you know, if there's other just random guys chilling there, you know, having a drink, I'm like, oh, hey, dude, what's going on, what's up, dude, what's up, hey, how you doing, you know, yeah, obviously if I have a little alcohol on me, it kind of loosened me up a little bit, and just wasn't really going anywhere. And then in March of 2013, I went out for St. Patrick's Day, and I think I was the, you know, there had been, you know, there's basically this gap of going out with all these dudes, my relatives, on my birthday in December. Then in March, I'm going out with these relatives and shit of mine again. And so we go out and doing the same stuff. We're going wild, having a great time, just woo, you know, it's just a party. And I think St. Patrick's was on a Monday that year, actually. I don't remember exactly, but I had the day off anyway, so I didn't even care. I was like, I don't give a fuck. So I went there, and this club we went to was packed, and I was just fucking wasted. I was already throwing up. I was already fucking puking before I even went and got, because I already had so many drinks. We got to that same place I went to on my birthday before, and we get there, and I was already fucking throwing up because I was so drunk, you know. And so I go in, and people are buying me drinks and stuff still. They're like, oh, we got shots, whatever. I'm still drinking. I'm just way gone. And so I end up going back to the dance floor, and I don't even remember what's playing. I don't remember at all, but I'm fucking doing all kinds of dances. I'm just, you know, I'm super loose off the juice. I'm just going, I'm cranking it, and I'm twisting it, and I'm doing every goddamn thing. And now I don't remember. I think what happened at this time was I was going a little too hard, and I kicked my own foot out from under me. Some people told me that a girl whose ass I was grabbing, some people told me that she kicked my foot out from under me. I don't know if we'll ever know the real truth. But anyways, I fucking just, all of a sudden I'm like going like a fucking nosedive right into this tile, this hard, solid tile dance floor, and I put out my right hand, and all my body weight goes on my right hand. And I didn't feel anything a particular time. I mean, obviously I was like, boom, you know, fucking wipe out. And people are like, whoa! But I get back up, and I'm kind of just like, you know, I'm a little shaken. You know, I think I went and maybe threw up again or took a piss or something. And I kind of just chilled on it and whatever. But we were there until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And anyways, I get a ride home from my mother to my apartment. I should say I get a ride to my apartment from my mother. And I'm shaking my hand like this. And I'm like, gosh, Mom, like my hand feels weird, and I don't know why. Actually, no, it was a Saturday. I remember, yeah, it was a Saturday night actually, because then I woke up Sunday morning at like 7 a.m. and realized that my hand was broken. I was like, oh my fucking God, this is extremely painful. And I called my mother again, and I was like, hey Ma, when you get up, bring me to the emergency room, please, my fucking hand is broken. And so I went, and my hand was broken. And I think I had like a splint on for like maybe about 6-7 weeks, I think it seems like. Or maybe it was, I'm trying to think, the whole, because I had my splints on for a while, and then I went and I had to put my hand in, I had to go to therapy and put my hand in like this hot, what is like corn husks or sawdust or some weird shit. I think it was like corn something. They had like this hot cylinder of like some kind of thing. You put your hand in it, you would be able to like move your hand around, and like it wouldn't hurt. You could get like the range of motion back. And then I had to put this fucking like diabetic cream on my hand to like keep the nerves like alive or whatever, or keep them from like, you know, getting all weird. So anyways, you know, then that summer comes, and I'm like, you know, all right, my hand was healed. It was like in June or whatever. I'm like, okay, it's the summer. I'm 21 years old. It's the summer. Boom. Okay, you know what? We've had enough problems, enough setbacks, enough whatever, man. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, yeah, this is it, man. This is what's up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And I still had a Facebook at this time, because I didn't get banned from Facebook until later in 2013. So I had a Facebook. I didn't have a smartphone, but I had a phone. But I had Facebook, and I was like, all right, you know, I had some people's numbers still. And I'm like, all right, let's go. What's going on? I want to have some fun. What's up? And I would like, and it started happening like this. Like, you know, the weekend would come around, and I would like text the people who I knew on Friday, what's going on? Even my relatives, you know, what's up? What's going on? Hey, what's up? You know, never really ever got any answers. Maybe one, you know, I don't know or whatever, very rarely. And so like, okay. You know, I was really hoping just to have somebody, you know, to chill or hang out or whatever. It wasn't happening. Okay. All right, let's go. I just fucking start. I would just start bar hopping by myself. You know what I mean? I would go, and the thing is, like, I wasn't even going to a bar and just sitting there and getting drunk. You know, I would go there and have a drink, beer or whatever, and try and see if I was like, oh, what's going on? Okay, nothing's going on here. All right, fine. Okay, I wasn't even opening tabs. I was like, all right, I'll pay for that. Okay, nobody's here. Let's go try another bar. You know, while there's people out in groups and friends and all this stuff going on, and they're taking, they're taking cabs from bar to bar, bar hopping. I'm fucking having like a beer, going to the next bar, trying to like, okay, I want to make sure I'm not getting too drunk here. I want to make sure I'm all good. Okay, I'm good. Okay, let me get another beer. I'm kind of walking. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, nothing. Cool. All right, what else? What's next? And then like you would there was a couple hopping places that I would go to, but that was almost even worse, I guess, in a way, because like you'd go to this hopping place and you'd go there and there'd be like 20, 30 people all there who all knew each other, who were all friendly with each other. Whatever the case was, everybody was all good, and like I was there at the fucking bar by myself, just like, sitting there, a fucking beer on the bar, watching sports or whatever the hell was on TV, and I'm sitting there like, oh, hey guys, nobody's even acknowledging I exist. They don't, they're like, who is this guy? I mean, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, what's up? Yeah. Kind of basically get like a weird glare from everybody, like, who the fuck is this weirdo dude? And then just kind of set the beer back down and be like, cool. All right. Yep. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll take the bill for that, please. All right, thank you. Then you leave and go back home, and it's like fucking 10 o'clock at night on a Friday, and you just like, just like this deep fucking hatred, this anger, this frustration, I'm like, fucking goddamn damn it! God damn it, why didn't anybody fucking call me back? Why didn't anybody fucking send me a text message back? Why? I just want to go out, I want to have friends, I want to do things, I want things, and I want friends, and I want to fucking not be sitting here fucking trapped in my own fucking head in my fucking apartment all by myself every single fucking day and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, just like, just this like fucking frustration, and it went like this the whole summer, and I should say until, like I said, until it came to that point where I was working every weekend, which is pretty much, I pretty much just took that, because that went on from, because I worked the 2 jobs until December of that year, because I ended up quitting my grocery store job in December, because I basically, my new gas station job paid better, and I wanted to have Christmas off, and I wasn't going to have Christmas off because the grocery store I worked at was going to be open on Christmas, and so I gave like not even my full 2-week notice. I was just like, because they were able to, the new schedule hadn't came out yet for like whatever, so I only really had to give a 1-week notice, so that's all it was. I was gone. But pretty much, once I realized where everything was going, every weekend was going, I was just like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, just sign me up for every weekend, I don't give a fuck, whatever, it's hours, it's money, fine, yeah, whatever, fine, I don't care, I don't give a fuck, I don't care. And then I was, once I started at the gas station, they were like, well, we need, there's 2 overnighters, one who works in the middle of the week, gets less hours, but gets the weekend off, or, but then the girl who I had to choose, we had to like decide who was going to do it. She's like, well, I love to go out every weekend with my girlfriends and da-da-da, whatever. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I have nobody, I have nothing in this fucking world. I have nothing. It doesn't matter when I fucking work. I have no life. All I do on my fucking days off is I sit home and watch anime and play fucking video games by myself. I have nobody to talk to. I have nobody. I have nothing. I don't care. Just fucking put me on weekends. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. And pretty much from that point on, it was just like, well, I would sit there. I remember I would still have times where I'd think to myself, and I'd be like, because I had, like I said, there would still be times where family and relatives and stuff be like, oh, hey, we're going out this weekend. And I was like, okay, well, you know, okay, cool. Well, have fun, guys. You know, I was like, it's, you know, my soul pretty much just fucking died. I was like, I don't even care anymore. Whatever, I don't care. I don't even like people, you know. And I think this kind of, you know, because this was really, I mean, I had sort of sentiments before this where I was like, you know, frustrated with women and things, but this was like, I think this was really where like even more full black pilling set in, was like, you know, late 2013, you know, shit like that, because it just was what it was, you know what I mean? It was like I had my computer built, so I had, you know, late 2013, because that was also a benefit of me working my 2 jobs through December, was that I had money saved up to build my computer that I have today. And, you know, I was like, I have my video games, I have anime, I have all this stuff that my computer gives me. I don't need humans, because I hate humans, I fucking hate people. My computer gives me what I need, and I love my computer, and I hate everything that's not my computer, you know. And then I was playing my MMO for a while, you know, and I was getting my socialization that way. And then I got banned from my MMO, and then I just was spending all my time on 4chan. Then I met that chick, and then I started fucking, you know, that started the whole, you know, basically was the precursor to the Eggman existence. And here we are, you know, I don't even see, you know, I can't even remember the last time I saw a weekend as, you know, what most people see it as, I guess, you know, it's like, it hasn't meant anything to me in a long time. So, I don't know, maybe you can relate, you know, but that's just how I feel, you know, like, I guess total non-existence of a social life just doesn't make it mean anything anymore, you know. Taco Bell's open later, you know. I think what Domino's maybe is open later. That's about the full extent of what I get from that whole shit. Also, for the last couple minutes, I just want to say, you know, this is preaching to the choir for my audience. You know, I'm sure none of you guys do this, but I just want to continue to put it out into the public mainframe sphere, just to get the fucking, I don't know, maybe it'll trickle into some other spheres just by repeated mentioning and making sure that it's able to be said. Stop. If you know somebody who does this, which I know people who do this, I've known people who do this, I don't know, nobody who I really talk to now, but if you know somebody who is fucking donating to some whore's Patreon where she posts these fucking monthly shitty, not good photo sets, even if she fucking posts nudes, get whoever, if you know somebody, you gotta tell this guy or whoever you know to get some fucking self-respect and stop giving some goddamn whore along with like 300 other guys or 3,000 or whoever, however many, or even 30 other guys, you know. I don't understand how you could, you know, how you could bring your level, you know, you're basically like, you know, a chick who fucking just has such low self-respect that instead of going and having a traditional family, she's okay to get pissed on and shit on for money or whatever. You're like the male version of that, giving your money to some chick who's gonna take 5 shitty naked pictures and send them to 100 different guys, and that's how she fucking makes her living, you know. That's just disgusting, you know what I mean? How could you fucking enjoy that when you know that there's like a bunch of fucking old men who are all jacking off over this picture as well, and it basically fucking means nothing, you know. Stop watching porn, don't pay whores, fucking improve yourself, and fucking, you know, maybe if you need to pay a prostitute every now and then, okay, nobody's perfect, escort, whatever. But focus on trying to improve yourself, and don't buy into this succubus scheme. Don't subscribe to that shit. You know, just don't give in to the whores. Try and become a fucking king, my brothers. Alright. But until next time, I hope you've enjoyed my incoherent ramblings on this episode of Egg Wars, and we'll catch you later.